quiet stillness of a modest home, where the only sound was the ticking of an old clock. A young man named Herry sat by his window, gazing at the stars. The night was his sanctuary, a time when the world fell silent, and he could hear the rhythm of his heart, the melody that stirred deep within him. But in his household, music was considered a distraction, a frivolous pursuit that led to nothing but trouble. For as long as Herry could remember, his passion for music had been met with stern looks and disapproving words. Yet, the fire in his heart refused to be extinguished. Herry's family had always been rooted in tradition. They valued hard work, discipline, and the certainty of a stable life. His father often said, "Music won't put food on the table," while his mother worried about what the neighbors might think if they knew. Her son spent hours strumming a guitar instead of studying for a real career. But Herry felt the music in his bones, a force so powerful that no amount of discouragement could quiet it. He spent years practicing in secret, his fingers dancing over the strings of his old guitar late at night when everyone else was asleep. In the dim glow of a bedside lamp, he would write songs that spoke of dreams and desires, of a life beyond the narrow confines of his upbringing. Every note, every chord, was an expression of the world he wished to create, a world where music was not just a hobby, but a way of life. Despite the doubts that crept in, despite the voice in his head that sometimes echoed his parents' words, Herry kept playing. He began to record his compositions, pouring his soul into every track, but he knew he could not share them openly. The fear of rejection, the fear of being misunderstood, was too great. So, he uploaded his music anonymously to an online platform, hoping that, somewhere out there, someone would hear the passion in his songs. Weeks passed, and Herry continued to live his double life, the dutiful son by day and the secret musician by night. He would check the platform every morning, his heart pounding with anticipation. And then, one day, it happened. A song he had uploaded weeks before began to gain traction. First, there were a few comments, then hundreds, then thousands. His music was being shared, liked, and discussed by people all over the world. The words of strangers lifted his spirits. "This song speaks to me. Whoever you are, thank you for this. Your music is pure magic." The popularity of his songs grew, and with it, so did Herry's confidence. The young man who had once doubted his talent now believed in the power of his music more than ever. He started receiving messages from producers, musicians, and event organizers who wanted to know the identity of the mysterious artist behind the music. But Herry hesitated. Could he really step into the light after hiding in the shadows for so long? One day, an invitation arrived in his inbox that would change everything. A major music festival, renowned for launching the careers of many famous artists, had noticed his work. They wanted him to perform live on their main stage, a dream opportunity that Herry had never dared to imagine. But accepting the invitation meant revealing his identity to the world, to his family, to everyone who had ever doubted him. The night before the festival, Herry stood in front of a mirror, guitar in hand, his heart racing. This was his moment of truth. The weight of his family's expectations pressed down on him, but the music within him pushed back with equal force. As he took a deep breath, he knew that he had to be true to himself, no matter the cost. The day of the performance arrived, and the festival grounds buzzed with excitement. Thousands of people gathered in anticipation, unaware of the journey the young man had taken to stand on that stage. When Herry stepped into the spotlight, the crowd fell silent, waiting for the first note to fill the air. He could feel the eyes of the world on him, the weight of his secret pressing down on his chest. But as he strummed the first chord, something magical happened. The fear melted away, replaced by a deep sense of purpose. Herry played with all his heart, his music soaring through the night like a bird finally freed from its cage. Each note carried the story of his struggles, his dreams, his unwavering belief in himself. And when the last chord rang out, the crowd erupted in applause, a wave of sound that washed over him, affirming what he had always known deep down. He was meant to share his music with the world. After the performance, as the crowd chanted for more, Herry stepped forward, took a deep breath, and spoke into the microphone. "My name is Herry," he said, his voice steady, "and this is the music within me." The cheers that followed were deafening, but in that moment, all he heard was the beating of his own heart, finally in sync with the world around him. Harry's story spread like wildfire, a tale of perseverance, of following one's passion despite all odds. His family, once skeptical, now watched in awe as their son rose to fame, not as a rebellious dreamer, but as a musician who had found his place in the world. And as Harry continued to create, to inspire, he knew that the music within him would never be silenced again.